Kia ora, I'm Tuari Dawson, and you're listening to the Invisible Sensei podcast. Hey, kia ora guys. So, if you're wondering whereabouts in Okinawa I am, I'm in New Zealand, which is not in Okinawa, which is in New Zealand. So, returned back from Okinawa yesterday, and just taking a bit of a walk, and I guess sort of doing a bit of a reflection on my trip, things I picked up, things I learnt. And it's funny, you don't really start thinking that way until you get home. And so what are my reflections of Okinawa, of training there? I think that probably it's still formulating in many ways, but here's some of the, I guess, major themes, the bullet points that came out to me. I think it's important sometimes to get an appraisal of where you're at. And I'm one of those people who honestly believes, that gradings and all that sort of stuff are not important. But having said that, I went and trained at a particular dojo with a particular sensei, who I even asked if I can talk about the story, so I will not mention that sensei's name. But anyway, was great training, had an opportunity to go and do a little bit of karaoke, and it was cool. It was really choice. And the following day, we finished with, I was getting up and having a little bit of breakfast, thinking of which Lawson's had the best onigiri, and I got this message, and in this message it said, was great to have your company last night. Let's do some training again when the diaries align, and that my skills are that of a 10th dan. My karate skills were 10th dan level. Now, I instantly felt a weight lift from my shoulders, and I have to be honest, for a guy who says he doesn't care about gradings and all those sorts of things, I really cared then. But then, after the initial flush of my own personal awesomeness subsided, I read the text again, and the text said, was great to spend time with you last night. Your karaoke is 10th dan. So you could hear the air escaping from my ego quite loudly. And whilst I'm not a 10th dan in karate, not even close, my karaoke skills, I will be opening up a dojo at some point so that you may have the benefit of my karaoke skills. But it made me reflect on gradings, on validation, and the importance of having these things in our lives. And I think for me, going to Okinawa this time, there were certain questions that I had about my own training, about my own approach, about things that I've been practicing. And so it was nice to have opportunities to bounce them off people who know what the hell they're talking about. And yeah, I really, I think in terms of, it's kind of like going back to a library. And in this library, there were so many incredible books. Ask your parents' kids if you don't know what a library is, and ask them if you don't know what a book is. But you've got access to all this incredible information, right? So you go in, and it's not so much about the book or the information, but I think that makes you intelligent. I think it's how you interpret information. What makes you, where do you get to? So there's a number of different stages. One is getting in there and just feeling like the biggest beginner ever. You go to some classes and you're just surrounded by these incredible practitioners. And also, you're also surrounded by some fantastic younger practitioners with their hips that work and their knees that work properly and their shoulders, backs, elbows, and necks that are all in pristine condition. And if you get in there and you're a more mature karate practitioner, we all know the injuries that can kind of happen. So you get in there and you're stood next to these people. They are fitter, younger, trimmer, and seem to be inexhaustible, whilst, I know for me at least, feeling like the awkward guy at the back of the class who everyone tolerates their presence. They're going sort of like, you're doing great. And so that can be quite confronting to one's ego.